Welcome into a brand new episode of Tribal Council Chat. As always, we're your hosts. My name is Bruce Heller.
And my name's Brett Parnell.
And so let's dive in. We have episode 5 of our Vanuatu rewatch.
Episode 5. We're getting there. I think next time we do a rewatch, we'll probably do 2 episodes a week because this is kind of slow, but it's been
Yeah,
fun.
if it's an older season like this with short episodes, we should.
Yeah.
But this has been a blast. The first 4. Episode 5 was fun. We swapped.
We did swap.
Like it's a pretty predictable boot, honestly. So like not super exciting there, but it was a fun episode.
Fair. But yeah, lots still happens, so let's get into the episode. First, we have something that I think is probably the scene that Vanuatu is most remembered for.
Oh, I have
And that's
something.
the.
I have
Go
something
ahead.
before the earthquake slash.
Okay. Because that Leanne confessional goes down in survivor history. It's one we see all the time.
Yeah, I have like right where the episode starts, and this kind of just sums up OG LePevy. The men are arguing with each other over seats at the fire because some of them think some seats are better than others at the fire, and some think they're all the same. And some people are mad at Travis slash Bubba that he sits in the same seat every time. And this just sums up this tribe. They are so focused on stupid stuff all the time.
Every single episode, they take it up a level.
We're arguing about seats at the fire like some are better than others.
This is what I would have expected from, like, if you put a tribe of 18-year-olds with no life experience.
All the seats.
Not a tribe of all old guys.
The seats at the fire are all the same, right? There's not one that's better.
Yeah, no. They're all the same. And I mean, I say if there was a tribe of all 18-year-olds, Julia is far more mature than these guys.
And so, we also, right after that, both tribes are visited by a local man on a boat that asks them to pick a chief.
The earthquake is before this.
Oh, okay. So the earthquake slash volcano is after this in my notes. Interesting.
Okay, well, okay. Yeah, it was before. So basically, we have both beaches going amongst their day-to-day lives. It cuts to a confessional of Leanne, and while she's speaking, Mount Yasur, not the tribe Yasur, the volcano that the tribe is named after, starts an eruption. And that causes an earthquake through both beaches. And based on Jeff's comments at the challenge, it sounds like there was a big earthquake at Productions Camp, too.
Yeah, this volcano going off is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, that is fantastic.
I have seen 2 volcanoes that have been spewing ash in my life, and it's scary.
I bet it is when you're there. When it's on my TV, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool on TV. When I was on a cruise ship going up the coast of Italy, Mount Etna was spewing ash into the sky. It wasn't an eruption, but there was a lot of smoke coming out of it. And when I was in Mexico City, you could see one of the mountains that's a volcano, like, pretty far outside the city, spewing ash into the air.
That is fantastically cool.
Yeah. So I can only imagine what it would have been like being out there with no shelter and all of a sudden the ground starts shaking and with a volcanic eruption going on close by. That would have been freaky.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's Lisa says that the ground was about to split.
Yeah. It's something to, like, pay attention to, though. I'm sure they're incredibly bored out there. It provides excitement, I guess.
Very true. Earthquakes can be scary, too.
Yeah.
The one that hit Washington a few years ago that was huge down there was strong enough that we felt it in Ottawa for about 2 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah, like the one that broke the Washington Monument.
Earthquakes are scary. Volcano quakes are probably even scarier.
I would imagine. But yeah, this Leanne confessional where the ground starts shaking right in the middle of her speaking about the game is probably the moment that everybody remembers from this season. And then at that point, one thing that we get a sense from the Yasur tribe is maybe something's about to happen. And then we get the visitor you were talking about.
Yeah, so both tribes get a visitor on a boat, and he's a local, and he tells them to pick a chief, and the men pick Sarge, the women pick Scout, and the local gives the selected chiefs a necklace and a large stick type thing.
And leaves.
Yeah, and it's no explanation, just here's your necklace, here's your stake, goodbye.
Yeah. I thought this was interesting, notably also because we see the local man talking to both tribes in, I'm sure in his language, but to them it was complete gibberish other than the word one chief, which they could make out leading to this vote. What did you think of the two players that were selected? Did you expect those two picks?
Sarge, yes. Scout, not at all. Why are we picking her?
I think that it's very smart in general, because we all know being seen as the leader, especially in old school Survivor, isn't good for your game, right?
Yeah.
Note of who says Scout's the oldest, it should be her first. It was Amy,
Oh.
who I think is the leader on that tribe.
Oh, yeah. Amy's my
So,
player of the episode, by the way. We forgot to
yeah,
do that earlier.
but I think that's really smart of Amy right away to nominate Scout and say she's the oldest. Once Amy says that, there's no way she can get out of it. Because you can't change your age. You can change your opinions, but if they decide the oldest is our leader, well, it's Scout.
Yeah. And so we get to the reward challenge, and we're told to drop our buffs, and we find out not only why we were asked to randomly select chiefs, but what's happening, how the swap works, which is a really cool swap dynamic.
It is a really cool swap, and one that Scout I don't think plays very well.
Interesting.
Jeff says, and we note, I mean, do you want to explain how the swap works first, Bruce?
Yeah, so the two chiefs, one of them will create both tribes. And one of them creates both tribes, and then the other selects which tribe they want.
Yeah. And note that Jeff, as they're picking, tells Scout, who's assigning who should be the which tribe, that the goal is to divide the tribes as equally as possible because the other person is going to pick. I don't think Scout did that. I don't think the message got through with her completely.
Yeah, I'd agree.
The other tribe seems quite a bit stronger.
Yep. So, yeah, she didn't play it great. We have one with 5 women and 2 men, and the other has 4 men and, 2 women?
Yeah.
Also, Lisa didn't get picked, so she gets to pick which tribe she wants to be on.
That's right.
Which is really cool.
Which is. And she picks to go with, I believe it's the tribe that lost, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. But yeah, that's a fun way to do it. Then we get right to our first challenge as new tribes.
Also, Rory and Eliza got put on the same tribe together.
Oh, fun.
Rory was the first pick of this draft. Scout goes, Rory, you're on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really a draft, it's an assignment.
Either way, Rory being picked first was funny to me.
Yeah.
He's been the star of the season. Well, entertainment-wise, he's the star. Game-wise, it's Amy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, our reward is a trip to a waterfall where we get unlimited Pringles and beer.
Yep.
And LePevy wins.
That they do. I was confused by this challenge. I don't know if you caught it before we started, but I didn't know that it was whoever got the most markers won. I thought they had to get all the markers. And I'm sitting there going, I scuba dived to 30 feet on a shallow dive, but without gear, that is very difficult.
Yeah.
Like where the deepest marker was.
Yeah, this is a wild challenge.
But I do think that the fact now, once I saw it play out and that they had to just see who got the most, I thought it was really well done. Also, don't swim if you're ever doing this challenge. Use the rope and just pull yourself down.
Yeah, that seems obvious, but
it should be obvious, but it's not. Doesn't seem obvious to everybody.
And so LePevy wins.
It's like I was talking to somebody else today that you saw. It should have been obvious for FIFA to put Canada playing today and the US playing on the 4th of July. We're recording this on Canada Day. But guess what? It wasn't. It's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
There's going to be the US playing on Canada Day and Canada playing in Houston on the 4th of July.
They also should have had us not. Yeah. FIFA not known for good decision making though.
Yeah.
One of the few things I know about FIFA is their former leader, Sepp Blatter, got in a lot of trouble a few years ago for being a terrible leader.
The day that FIFA's headquarters got raided, I was flying through the airport in Zurich, which is where they were located. And the media was going absolute nuts. And I was like, I'm just coming in from Tel Aviv to Berlin. What is going on here?
That's fantastic. So we go on the reward, not a ton here. Waterfalls are fun. The biggest thing I took away, John talking about how he has new life in the game. Mm-hmm. Now that it's not just him against this tight guys alliance that he's not a part of.
Yeah.
Which is exciting for him.
Very exciting for him. We'll definitely see what happens, but gives him a new shot that he didn't have before when this Five Old Guys alliance was pretty inseparable.
Yeah. See, we say pretty inseparable, but last week's Sarge legitimately considered siding with the younger guys there.
But if he didn't do it, then he's not going to make that decision now when he has less numbers.
Yeah. He can be swayed, though. He's not as solid as the others.
Yeah, for sure.
This reward is also just cool. I love waterfalls. This would be awesome.
Yeah.
Pringles, not one of my favorite chips, just for the sole reason of when it gets to the last few, I don't like reaching into that can. It's hard to get my hand into.
Fair enough.
I guess I could just dump the chips out of the can into my hand.
I think kind of the point.
Chips coming in a bag is so much easier and more logical than chips coming in a can. You get more chips in a bag.
You're 100% right. And milk coming in a bag is so much more easier too.
Why? Okay, we haven't done this on the show. What is logical about milk in a bag that you then put the bag in a pitcher? You can already just buy it in a plastic pitcher.
It pours so much smoother. Then out of a carton or out of plastic.
But see, you put the bag into a pitcher to pour it, don't you?
But the milk stays in the bag before, well, it sits in the
I
pitcher.
know, but you're
You
using a
just cut
pitcher to pour when you could just already get it in a pitcher-like thing to begin
and
with.
then it would spurt everywhere if it was in a carton.
I don't know that it does spurt
It's
that badly. If it does, I
it's
think
like
that's just a skill issue.
the milk bag is like putting in the spout into the top of your tequila bottle and then being able to pour it perfectly.
I can't speak to that. I haven't
Fair
poured
enough.
tequila, but I maintain my plastic milk jug. Yours is probably better for the environment, but whatever.
Fair enough. I mean, when you come up here, you'll see what I mean.
I probably will, and I'm stubborn enough, I'll probably still call it weird. Not while I'm there, but when I come back. Oh, that's funny. I love that we got into we've talked about the bagged milk off air many times. This is just the first time you guys are hearing it.
Yeah. And a lot of other things that are differences between our two countries.
Yeah. Especially like, and we don't need to fully get into this. You guys going back and forth between metric and imperial measurements, depending on what you're measuring, throws me off.
Yeah, that throws me off too, to be honest.
So, do you have anything else from the reward?
No, just that Chris drops the marker, but they still manage to win. Well done to the new Lepevi.
Yes. And so we go to Yasur.
You would
and
think when Chris says I dropped it and Jeff says that one's gone, go to the next one, that they're done for.
Also, the one, like when Chris wins it at the end, he fakes them out. He goes, man, that's so deep. But I got it! That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so we go to Yasur, and the two guys there, Travis and Rory, they are doing so much work. They're carrying logs, they're doing a lot of the physical work. They're trying to make themselves seem valuable to these
They're
five
doing
women.
the right thing for now.
And then Lisa sees all this work they're doing. Hey, let's show them how to get coconuts for us.
Yeah.
And Amy does not like that. Amy says, no, don't do that. And we get a bit of a rift here between them for a little bit.
I think that's a bad play from Amy here.
I get where she's coming from, but causing weight when all your confessionals are about how you're so with the women and you're so tight, then you're making waves with Lisa unnecessarily by saying no, don't like saying no, then doing the passive aggressive like you do you. I just don't think we need to do that. Like
Right.
that's not staying tight with the women. That's you making
Exactly.
an issue where there doesn't need to be one.
Yep.
But not wanting to spill all your secrets to the guys who are still your opponent makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't know if opening a coconut is really a secret at this point in time.
Well, the guys must not have known how to do it if Lisa felt the need to show them.
Fair enough.
And it might have been not just opening the coconut, but like getting them down from the tree the way Daw showed them to.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed. But like
still,
Amy's
something
thing
like
makes
gathering.
sense, but pick
when
your
you
battles.
merged, something like gathering food is going to be everybody's responsibility.
Yeah.
Not
Amy makes
man.
sense to me, but pick your battles. That wasn't the one to pick.
Yeah.
And so, do you have anything else before immunity?
No, but immunity, I think, is the big part of this episode.
Yeah, do you want to explain this challenge?
Let me take a look. Something I forgot this.
I watched the episode today, but I forgot to write down how the challenge works.
I watched it like a week ago. Well, when you went away.
Yeah.
Oh, well, before we do that, I'm going to look it up, but do you want to talk about what happened before the challenge? Because I think that's most notable.
Huh. Say that one more time.
What?
What you just said.
Do you want to talk about what goes on right before the challenge on the mats? Because I think that's probably most notable while I look up what the challenge
Yeah,
was.
so we get there, and Bubba, like, tries to mouth something to Chris, like, think about the merge or whatever, just tries to talk to him without talking to him. And he
Dumb.
gets seen doing that by Amy. And so this comes into play big time after the challenge. This becomes a bit of a story on what he was trying to say or not.
And now, once I see something like that, and I don't know, this would be something I would love to ask production about. Did maybe editing get this out of order?
I don't know.
Because I might side with Amy a lot more than I just did 5 minutes ago if this interaction happens before the no, I don't want to share with them how to open a coconut. Because my thought would be they're not working for my tribe. They're actively working against me.
I think the coconut thing happened before the challenge.
If it did, then I'm less likely to side with Amy here.
You know what I immediately thought of was Cambodia, when we had this same thing happen after a swap.
Yeah.
With Jeff Varner tried to say or do something with a former tribe mate that he was no longer tribe mates with. And Tasha caught that and made that an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And rightfully so on her part. Like, Varner played what... I don't remember exactly what he did. I remember thinking Varner was really stupid in that moment, though.
Sounds par for the course.
Well, yeah. Travis here, like, he just got caught red-handed. It wasn't a terrible idea, but...
It wasn't a terrible idea depending on what was said, but at the same time, he should be smarter and know that even if he meant nothing by it, it can easily be misperceived by everybody looking at you.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea, but the risk is not worth the reward.
Yeah. All right, so for the challenge, the tribes had to race in pairs into the jungle in order to get the parts of the outrigger canoe. An outrigger canoe is basically the type of canoe you see Doc show up in on the beach.
Yes, and the chief selectors show up in also.
Yes. Then they had to, and the canoes that surrounded the castaways at the opening ceremony. Once they put the canoe together, they had to paddle out into the ocean and retrieve a flag. First tribe to bring the flag back to the shore one's immunity. And I've got something to ask you here. We see that the boat with Amy and Bubba is totally off course.
Yeah.
Do you actually believe that Amy doesn't know how to paddle a canoe? I think it had to do with what we just talked about.
You think she threw the challenge?
Yeah. I think she figured out these two aren't working within our tribe, so I'll get rid of them and benefit myself at the merge. Whereas if we kind of like what happened in China with the poorly done swap there.
I could see it, but I'm not convinced.
Fair.
I think, like,
that was my take.
This specific type of canoe, why would any of them have experience with this?
Because it's just like paddling any other canoe. The outrigger portion just makes it easier to not tip.
Well, then I don't know.
Having that second beam there keeps the canoe more stable in the ocean. That's it.
True. Well, then I don't know.
But yeah,
my gut says that they didn't throw it, but your argument makes sense.
It's my take that Amy thought if LePevy loses, one of my allies will go home. If we lose, one of my opponents will go home. Therefore, it's in my interest to lose the challenge.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so ultimately, LePevy does win.
Yeah.
And we go back to camp, and we immediately see Amy telling us she wants to vote out Bubba because he isn't part of their team. He's making plans with the other team.
Yep.
And so, this is pretty much a straightforward vote. Do we even have another name come up?
It's a straightforward vote. I mean, I don't think there was really any serious talk of should it be Rory. It was Rory got one vote from Bubba himself, but other than that, they were all voting Bubba.
Yeah. I feel like Bubba probably knew it was him going in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. I really don't have any notes from like the talking portion of Tribal either. This is just after the immunity challenge, it's straightforward. Nothing really happens.
Yeah. Same.
And so this was kind of a shorter recap than others, but do you want to dive into a line blindside first boot?
Sure. Let's do that. Just give me 2 seconds to find a name.
Okay.
I know I have a theme in mind. The name that I am gonna give you are Kelly Wentworth. Let's make it difficult for Bruce with 2 of his favorite players and put Natalie Anderson in here. And let's go with someone we just watched play an amazing game in 50 with Suri Fields. Do you want to know what the theme is?
What?
Bubba is always going to be remembered for wearing his Bob Barker t-shirt. So I gave you 3 Survivor players who appeared on the Survivor Price is Right special.
Nice. That is fantastic. Kelly, Natalie, and Suri. So no matter who I go to the end with,
Right.
I lose.
You never know.
I probably lose.
I mean, probably.
I'm gonna do what the people on 50 should have done and was proven they should have done and what I said they should do. Suri's going first, and I know Natalie's the winner. I normally send the winner home first if there's only one. Suri's too dangerous. You can't let her get any sort of traction.
Okay.
Then I'll blindside Natalie and align with Kelly.
Okay.
What about you?
I am going to first boot the winner, Natalie.
Understandable.
I'm going to blindside Suri, probably at Final 6, like every season. And after this week, I think there's no question that I'm going to align with Kelly, who, now that I find out is a Liverpool fan, just moved way higher in my favorites list.
That's funny. You did find that out. I forgot about that.
Kelly Wentworth and I support the same English football club.
Yes. By the way, USA won their soccer game right before we recorded this, so yay.
Nice.
And I kind of brought that up just so I could say the word soccer, honestly. But
welcome to the round of 16.
We've been
for 72 hours.
And so, for your 3, I will go with, we're rewatching a super old school season. Let's just keep it in that era.
Okay.
So let's go with, I'll give you Elizabeth from Australian Outback.
Nice.
I will give you, I'm drawing a blank on her name, but I'll go with Cleopatra from Samoa. Not Samoa, sorry, Marquesas.
Marquesas.
I don't know why I said Samoa. That's nowhere close. Sarah, I think. That's her name.
Samoa in most cases isn't that far away.
I didn't mean location-wise. I just meant like season number and the seasons themselves are nothing alike.
Yeah.
I don't know geography very well
All
of
right,
that part of the world.
Not a problem. So Sarah,
Sarah, Elizabeth,
and
I'll go to Africa here and use a player that I don't know that I've used in this before and go with Jesse Camacho from Africa.
Nice.
Just to throw an obscure name in there.
This might be crazy of me, but I'm going to assume, I'm sure you agree with me, that when we do a line blindside first boot, we're thinking of if this was like season 51, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to first boot Sarah, who seemed to be probably the worst of these three players at the game. Just kind of on the beach, not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to blindside Jesse, who I just don't know enough about, but I think there was a lot of potential there. And I'm going to go to the end with Elizabeth, who I think is far more beatable today for reasons we won't talk about than she would have been 25 years ago.
And see, yes, I agree, but like I'm imagining playing with the people I watched on my screen, so I'm afraid of going to the end with her because she's super likable in Australia. Yeah. So my answer was I'm going to the end with Sarah because I think the whole like Cleopatra thing and that vibe might rub jurors the wrong way. And I'm gonna first boot Jessie because I just don't know how she plays. She wasn't in Africa very long.
Okay.
Which leads me to blindside Elizabeth.
Nice.
So, this was fun.
Yeah, this was fun. We will be back again on Saturday with our annual Canada Day 4th of July week trivia contest. And then we'll be doing another recap next week.
Yes. So with that being said, check out Pit Stop Pals, New Generation Challengers. Roundtable Talk will have an episode coming out soon. And with that being said, everyone grab your torches and head back to camp. Goodbye.